A ceasefire between Israel and Hezbollah took effect early Wednesday. The news was announced by U.S. President Joe Biden the previous day, speaking after both sides accepted an agreement brokered by the U.S. and France.
This is designed to be a permanent cessation of hostilities. What is left of Hezbollah and other terrorist organizations will not be allowed, I emphasize, will not be allowed to threaten the security of Israel again.
Biden spoke shortly after Israel's Security Cabinet approved the agreement in a 10-1 vote. He also said there would be a drawdown period of 60 days, where Israel would gradually withdraw its forces as Lebanon's army takes control of its territory near the border, which Biden said would ensure Hezbollah does not rebuild infrastructure there.
Civilians on both sides will soon be able to safely return to their communities.
Lebanon's foreign minister said earlier in the day that their army would have 5,000 troops deployed as Israeli forces withdrew. Netanyahu had also said in an earlier address that the ceasefire would allow Israel to focus on the threat from Iran, replenish depleted arms supplies, and give the army a rest.
Tonight I introduced to the Cabinet a ceasefire proposal for Lebanon. The duration of the ceasefire depends on what happens in Lebanon. In full coordination with the United States, we retain complete military freedom of action. Should Hezbollah violate the agreement or attempt to rearm, we will strike decisively. If it tries to rebuild its fortifications along the border, we will strike. If it launches a rocket, digs a tunnel, brings in a truck with missiles, we will strike.
He also said the ceasefire would allow Israel to isolate Hamas, which Israel is battling in devastated Gaza. There was no indication the truce would help deliver a ceasefire or hostage release deal with Hamas. Biden leaves office in January. However, he said his administration would continue to push for a Gaza truce after the Israel-Lebanon deal, and for an agreement to normalize relations between Saudi Arabia and Israel.
U.S. President-elect Donald Trump tapped trade lawyer Jamieson Greer as his new trade representative Tuesday. It comes a day after Trump's threats of hefty tariffs on Canada, Mexico, and China, as he urged them to step up efforts to curb the drug trade, especially regarding fentanyl and illegal immigration. Greer was a veteran of Trump's first-term trade war against China. Back then, he served as chief of staff to former Trade Representative Robert Lighthizer. His views on China are also firmly aligned with Trump, saying there is a need to counter China's efforts to dominate global industries. Testifying before the U.S.-China Economic and Security Review Commission in May, he argued in favor of increased tariffs and advocated for stronger export controls on sensitive U.S. technologies. Trump's rhetoric has prompted China to warn that no one can win a trade war. It has also drawn a rebuke from Mexico. Country President Claudia Sheinbaum said her government could retaliate with tariffs of its own, with severe economic consequences for both sides. Meanwhile, Mexican border towns are already feeling the strain from Trump's plans. Jesus Manuel Sayandia, coordinator of the Border Business Bloc, said border cities have been losing a lot of competitiveness, and many industries have been feeling uncertain about the future.
We are going to see how things will progress once the president-elect takes office on January 20th. But the messages they have been sending, saying they want to raise tariffs, calling the border conflictive, talking of issues like violence and migration, they are not contributing to all of the investments that could come.
Others take a more nuanced view, suggesting Trump's threats may be more of a negotiating tactic. Mario Cepeda is president of the Mexican Employers Confederation in the border town of Ciudad Juarez. He says Trump is starting to negotiate better conditions for his country and looking after his own interests. Cepeda says Mexico should do the same.
Volkswagen will exit its controversial plant in China's Xinjiang region. It comes after years of investor pressure to abandon its presence there. Rights groups have documented abuses, including mass forced labour in detention camps. Beijing denies any such abuses. VW and its Chinese partner agreed to sell the asset to a Shanghai government-owned buyer. The transaction value of the deal was not revealed. The significance of the plant, which used to assemble Volkswagen's Santana vehicle, has dwindled in recent years. The German carmaker cut jobs at the plant, leaving about 200 employees to conduct final quality checks and hand over vehicles to dealers in the region. VW has denied reports that it kept the plant open as a condition from Beijing to keep producing across China. The decision to free itself from the plant comes as VW is battling to boost flagging sales in China, its biggest market, amid intense competition and sluggish demand. Europe's car companies also have to contend with the impact of a potential trade war between Beijing and the European Union. That's after the EU imposed anti-subsidy import tariffs on China-made electric vehicles.
This tennis player is getting tips on his serve from artificial intelligence. Developed by Norwegian startup SportAI, the technology uses machine learning and biometric technology to give athletes real-time feedback. Lauren Peterson is SportAI's co-founder and CEO.
We are really focused on technique, so body movement, how you can change your body movement to improve your game when it comes to sports. That's really a game changer for us.
The company's platform works by analyzing video, whether it's captured on mobile phones, on court-mounted cameras, or directly from broadcast feeds. It compares an athlete's technique with thousands of other players, including the world's best. From there, it delivers instant, objective, and actionable feedback to improve performance. Peterson said recent advancements in AI have unlocked incredible potential.
We can use every pixel on the video to be like a sensor in your body and to make the comparisons without the need for a wearable or any sensors physically to be on the player.
The platform is currently only available for businesses and is focused on racket sports, but Peterson says it can be applied to any performance sport. The technology also has applications beyond improving coaching. And the company is now partnering with manufacturers to offer automated equipment recommendations. It could also allow broadcasters to compare techniques of a tennis player's style over time.
If you're watching Wimbledon on TV, there's a lot of ball tracking and data and stats coming in to engage audiences. But when it comes to technique analysis, you're totally reliant on the commentator's own subjective opinion. And that's something now with the advancements in AI that we can change.